Okay, we are live. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 155. I am just recovering from Defcon, and we have lots of fun stories. There's not too much hard-hitting stuff here, but just a lot of Defcon shenanigans and stories that we've come across. So I just want to jump right in because we have a lot of stuff to potentially cover, and hopefully we get through all of it. So, as you know, I just came back from Defcon. Awesome time. Nothing spectacular happened. I mean, there was no smoking gun. There was no arrests. I mean, there were arrests, but there was nothing that says that something really bad happened. So, big thumbs up. It was definitely the year of all the Blinky badges. Every group made a Blinky badge. And I guess let's just start with that. So Defcon had an issue with badge manufacturing. And if you don't know how Defcon works, is that this is an odd year. Odd years are not Blinky, they're analog, and even years are Blinky. So if you were going there expecting a Blinky badge, I'm sorry you didn't get one. What they did, because they had a badge issue, is they took old Defcon badges and rubberized them. So I'm holding an old badge. This is a contest badge. I'm one of the organizers for the Crypto Village, so I get a contest badge. The actual badge was a "Hi, my name is" badge. Again, rubberized and everything else. So that was that. And then you want to collect pins and you want to collect everything you can. I didn't get too many badges. The only one I really worked on was the crypto badge, which I'm getting out now in our super duper box, which looks awesome.
It really does.
And unfortunately, I don't have it charged right now because it does wear out. But it is a lock. I'm describing it with the gold bug. It has a rotary encoder. It does blink. One of the things that the Defcon badge makers did. So if you search up on Google, on Twitter, hashtag badge life, and if you're interested in joining badge life, there's a way in. They had some spec, some BLE spec to figure out local other badges. So if you look on the badge, it'll tell you who else is around you. And that was useful for the main badge that everybody wanted was Not XOR's Bender badge. You can look at that. You can look that up. It looked like a Hunter S. Thompson of Bender bending Rodriguez, the robot from Futurama. So if you had that badge and you had the Defcon 801 sheep badge, there was a chance that the sheep badge was really a botnet and that it could infect your Bender badge. And then you needed the crypto key from Not XOR to decrypt it. So they played that game. And again, the whole game there. And then if you want the FBI involved, so Christian Slater was at Black Hat, so which is the conference right before for all the corporate people. The Mr. Robot guy gave the Mr. Robot badge to Christian Slater and posed with it. Well, Comcast didn't like that. That's a violation of their intellectual property. So Comcast, by the way, is telling all the hackers that they shouldn't steal their intellectual property of Mr. Robot at Defcon or Black Hat. So we split up all the badges and then we decided to sell them covertly and make this guy money. So I don't know who he is. I know no knowledge of him because that's the awesome part about Defcon. But we sold all his badges. I did get a few tasty beverages out of it, though. So
that's fantastic.
So, and then I think the other cool thing are these keys that the Crypto Village put out. We're going to put them on our GitHub if you want to make them. They're just regular PCB boards. We gave them out free because they cost nothing to make, and they have a back thing with a patent number, and there are 5 of them. They all did with the puzzle. So again, I recommend Defcon if you're at all interested in information security. The word security, whatever that means to you. If you're a ham radio person and you want to take the ham radio test, you want to learn how to break apart a computer, you want to learn how to lockpick, you want to learn how to do whatever. You want to be weird and just do the scavenger hunt. A live duck got you like 10,000 points. I don't know.
Okay,
Tom.
did anyone bring an actual live duck?
No, but 10,000, I think 12,000 points was if you legally got married.
Oh, good God.
So I don't know if you were, I don't know if my wife and I can get remarried, but I don't know about that. A 30-foot ladder? Do you have a 30-foot ladder?
I do not. I have a step. Oh, actually, I don't have a step ladder in my kitchen. That got left back in Ohio. I have no ladder.
Well, can you get that to whatever? Can you get a 30-foot ladder to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah.
Okay. Can you get CeeLo is in town? Can you get CeeLo Green to sign a Confederate flag?
Oh my God. I maybe I could do that.
Okay. So
Possibly.
So if you're that good, you too can participate in the not the social engineer, the scavenger hunt, capture the flag. And the second place winners, this was awesome. They came in second place by only competing on Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, they left. They weren't even there.
So what did they do? How did they win? Did they just get a bunch of weird stuff?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they found the 30-foot ladder. You got to go look. They change it every year, but it's basically to keep it weird.
Green, standing on a 30-foot ladder, trying to sign a Confederate flag with a live duck.
And getting married, saying I do.
Getting married.
So I mean, they did all of that, and well, I don't know. Look, there's a whole bunch of little things, like 10 points for like a non-5 or 0 speed limit sign. I mean, all those funky things. But they keep. I mean, we're at a hacker convention in Las Vegas. I mean, it's they have a lot of weird stuff that you can get. Or we went. I mean, the furries showed up at a party. The other goal is to get into as many parties as you want. I will say, Friday night, the Bug Crowd party was pretty good. They rented out a hotel bar, and they just kept us in tasty beverages and appetizers for a few hours. And they didn't harass you to join them. So it's all about the parties and the pool parties and everything else. So there's two parts to Defcon, the actual conference and the parties afterwards. So again, we're taking too much time, but I urge you, if you're interested, to go. And by the way, I want to say hello to our new listeners. So I said about 100 cards out. So if people want to listen, they're free to listen. Not to my phone right now. So I know Tom missed out and he wishes he can come, but there's always next year.
I'm gonna keep trying, but we'll see. I'm not even gonna make it to DerbyCon this year. Like my entire life changed a couple months ago for the new listeners. I moved from Ohio to the West Coast, and yeah, it's been a big giant change. So trying to get anywhere except to work every day is it's a little challenging.
Lots of DerbyCon people. There is a lot of DerbyCon shirts. I will say that.
I love DerbyCon, and if you are in the Ohio, Kentucky regional area, and you don't want to go to Las Vegas for a security convention, go to DerbyCon. It's great. It's a whole lot smaller, but there's a bunch of great people there, a bunch of great talks. The Social Engineering Village is wonderful as well. I highly recommend it. Now the tickets sell out pretty quick, but if you go on Twitter and just search DerbyCon ticket, there are people who are like, oh yeah, well. My kid's going to be born during DerbyCon probably, so I'm just not going to go. Does anyone want my ticket at face value? I got my ticket from a company that had some extras on hand. They're like, hey, we're not going to make a profit on these. We're just trying to get more people to DerbyCon. So it was great. I got to go.
And I know people who generally have an extra ticket or two. They can find them. So if you're really stuck, hit me up, and maybe I can get you. I'm gonna try. No, I'm sorry, that's not DerbyCon, that's ShmooCon. That was the next thing. And if you're on the East Coast in DC around Martin Luther King Day, they have ShmooCon. Same idea, much smaller. The tickets sell out quickly. It's more charitable type thing. So again, search on Twitter. Same thing, exactly the same way. But sometimes the smaller conferences are the best conferences because you get to actually hear people talk and not have to deal with what we dubbed as line con, which was just standing in line for hours and hours. And I did stand online just to stand online. That was a thing. So I have to ask Tom, because Tom's in the know. Do you know what a silent disco party is?
Yes, I do. If I remember correctly, this is where one of the hotels or venues said, hey, look, there's going to be no loud music at this venue after this time. And there was this, big hacker rave music party going on that was supposed to happen. And they basically got, shut down by the hotel because now we have no music. So what they started doing is When you come onto the dance floor, you get a pair of wireless headphones. And there's a DJ up there, and he's playing music, but there are no speakers. The music is just broadcasted to everyone's headphones, so you can hear it and you can dance, but there's virtually no sound except for the sounds of humans moving around. It's pretty cool.
So you look like an idiot from the outside.
Oh, absolutely.
So, okay. That would be an awesome school dance.
That would be hilarious.
And then I heard that they have like competing DJs. So half the crowd is on one channel. And then, so I went to the one, and I think I actually went to the wrong one because in this little party and it had no iOS support. So we said, we ditched that. Wah, wah. Then we went somewhere else. Anyway, so that's as far as the fun stuff. Actual news out of Defcon. The big story of the day, which I did not believe at all would be a story, was the voter hacking village. It's brand new this year. And what happened was a group of people said, let's see how easy or hard it is to hack some voting machines. So they went and they literally got 12. It was either 12 or 16 voting machines. And they just brought it to Vegas. And they said, here, go at it. In 90 minutes, so by Friday afternoon when you were driving home, all 12 voting machines were hacked. And the moral of the story is paper ballots, everybody. There's no way we can withstand electronic voting system. And it has to be paper ballots. Those hanging chads are way more secure than anything else.
So I'm a techno nerd, right? I grew up with Star Trek. That is my perfect utopian future, is humanity hurtling through the stars, exploring stuff, and screaming at our computers, and controlling starships with just our voice. Voting should not be electronic in any way. We simply can't do it right now. There are a bunch of proposals, there's a bunch of research going on, but it's still untested theory. There's some great ideas in there, but let's be real. Today, the most secure way to vote in a democracy is paper. Go in, check some boxes, do the little Scantron things, fill in the bubbles, and turn them in. It's really the best way to vote today. There's so many issues, and this could be an entirely different episode, so I'm going to save it. But there are so many issues with trying to vote electronically, it's not even funny. But yeah, so what really impressed me is they were able to get so many of these voting machines, because these things aren't easy to come by. You can't go to Best Buy and take home a voting machine, right? They're highly regulated. Companies are very secretive. These companies don't allow, pen testers or hackers to get on these machines because they don't want the press, right? They don't really care about it being secure. They care about checking all the government boxes. So this is really the first time a group of hackers has been able to, go full force against these voting machines, and it turned up a lot of fantastic data. Unfortunately, that data shows these things are horribly insecure, terribly insecure.
It was bad.
Some of them have Wi-Fi. Some of them have Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is insecure. It's bad. It's really bad. Those cards with the chip on them that they give you, on one of the machines, it said that you could upload arbitrary firmware. No signing, no encryption, no validation, no nothing. Just firmware on your little voter card. So if you walk up to the booth and pull your hacker card out of your back pocket and slide it in the machine, you could brick the machine, you could change all the votes, you could do anything you wanted to tilt an election on that particular device. Let's say they're networked, you could really cause some major damage for that one voting location. It's astounding to me.
I only got there Friday morning because I was busy with other stuff. But by the way, their badge was an I voted sticker, which is kind of
That's
funny.
classy. That's really classy.
Because I was seeing all these I voted stickers. I didn't know what they were talking about. And then I realized that's from the voter hacking village. And
I voted for me and everyone else on the box.
Look, I'm very impressed. So if you don't know, Representative Will Hurd, he's a Republican out of Texas. He's actually on the San Antonio. He has the largest area. He's ex-NSA or CIA. He's ex-3-letter agency. This is now the second time he's been at DEF CON. He spoke at the voter hacking village, and I urge you to listen to what he has to say because he is very, very pro trying to figure out how to secure our borders, secure the elections, and do everything the right way. And don't worry about party affiliation. His goal is to actually keep America safe. And he was there again this year talking about voting and elections and everything else. And you have to listen to him because he is a smart guy because he was an ex-3-letter agent. So he's seen this firsthand.
I'm really glad that the voting hacking village was not only a success, but it's getting huge amounts of press, and not like just nerd press like Hacker News or anything else like that, but like we're talking mainstream news outlets are starting to talk about the insecurity of voting machines, right? State representatives are looking around and saying, hey, do we really need these? Because A, they cost a bunch of money, and B, they could compromise the election. So do we really want to continue these contracts? It's a great thing. Great things are going to happen because hackers got a hold of something, right? It's not the first time we've seen that. Defcon, I still believe, is a force for good.
Look, and that's the whole motto there. I mean, it's nonprofit. It's supposed to be a cheap way. So the IoT Village, and the IoT Village puts out a whole bunch of IoT devices, and that's going to lead us into our next story. And they're going to say, break them. And as they find vulnerabilities, every year they find something like 100 vulnerabilities that normal people do. We're not talking Tavis Ormandy. We're talking about you could easily just walk up there and start playing with it and find a vulnerability, and then they will report it. So they said they found something like 100 of them, and it leads us into the next story. And I don't know if it was related to DEFCON, but apparently the Amazon Echo is insecure. Now, that raised a whole bunch of alarm bells, but what they're actually saying is if you have physical access to an older model of an Echo, you can implant or change some firmware and put a bug on it to record it. And it goes back to physical security is just as important as actual internet security. Yeah,
so just like when we reported on the Nest being turned into a spying device, right? It requires someone to break into your home, take apart your electronic device, hook some wires up to it, make some changes, and then walk away. And if you're concerned about that, right? If that's your threat profile, you probably shouldn't have an Echo or a Nest or a Ring video doorbell or whatever, right? If your risk profile is people breaking into your home and implanting bugs, you've got way bigger things to worry about than if your Echo is listening to you, right? Check all your smoke detectors for cameras, enemy of the state style, because that's the kind of stuff you have to worry about. But for the vast majority of the population, I hate that this story ran. And for full disclosure, I work for Amazon. I don't work on the Alexa. I only speak for myself, all that stuff. But yes, if you can hook up stuff, if you can hook up JTAGs to an electronic device, right? If you can get wires onto the circuit board, yes, you can make it dance. You can make it do a bunch of horrible stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean the device is insecure. It just means, yeah, it's hackable with enough effort.
So another thing that won't be recorded was from the Biohacking Village, which I'm just indifferent. I went to one of their talks. It's hacking your body to either lose weight or build muscle or embed RFIDs. But they had a talk on personal massagers and how you can steal the data from personal massagers and you can remotely activate them. I don't know if I have a problem with that. Either way, okay. I really wish I saw it live, but I didn't.
If it's gonna be, if it exists, it's gonna be hacked. It's basically what it comes down to.
I heard that and I said, why is this a thing? And apparently it's a real big thing, and people are doing lots of research on it. And I want to meet one of these people and ask them, what did you get your PhD in? And the answer is, I found some remote activated personal massagers and I talked about the psychology of this. I'll call you a doctor every day of the week. So
yeah, it's interesting, and that's something that, on a family-friendly program like this, we're not going to go into the nitty-gritty details, but it is a very personal and private subject. And when you're handling people's really private and really personal data, they get really touchy about the whole thing. So those devices, yeah, it's not, oh, well, I can remotely hack 10,000 Android phones tomorrow by running this simple curl command. Like, it's not like that, right? Because people are like, oh, wow, I guess that sucks. That's really impressive, though. But if you start messing with that area of people's lives, they get freaked out really quickly, and it's understandable.
I mean, Oral-B had a vulnerability where within Wi-Fi range, you can steal people's brushing data. Again, I don't know why a toothbrush needs brushing data, but whatever.
I don't personally care if people steal my brushing data. Now, I would care if my dentist steals my brushing data, because or especially my flossing data. It's like we see
a dentist who doesn't care, like mine. My dentist
right.
gave up on telling me that.
That would be great, because like if I had an IoT like box of floss, it's like, oh hey, when's the last time you popped the lid on this? I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Right?
You don't want
that's the privacy I care about.
You don't want an Amazon Dash button that sends data back to the dentist on when you pushed it last.
That would be the least pushed button in this household.
So anyway, so again, it's one of those other things. I'm gonna skip the BitCash Bitcoin thing because we have like 10 minutes left, and it's really boring.
It is. It's a bunch of basically pseudo-political infighting with a little, sprinkling of technology on the top, and it's just not very interesting.
I did get when we're selling badges. So one of the things that really bothered me, like there was not a lot of sexism that I saw at Defcon, which is awesome. Everyone seemed to really behave, but people were really going after us for selling the badge. And our badge was $120, and people are saying, that's a lot. What does it do? And I wanted to scream at them. Now, I have no hardware ability. So the people who did it, mad props to all of them. We worked really hard. I was on these calls for 9 months. We started badge planning in September, October with designs. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears with it. It does enough to warrant that price tag. And if you don't like it, it's very simple. Don't buy it. And when we ask people, can you give us the money? And they're like, well, I don't know. Why doesn't do this? How come you don't accept Bitcoin? And I get it. We should accept Bitcoin, but we do have to pay taxes on this. So when you don't, so we got to account for everything. So unfortunately, you want to be anonymous. We also need not get arrested. So that's why we didn't go with Bitcoin. But you know what? We wanted cash. We don't accept credit card. It is Defcon. Don't give us a hard time. It's very simple. You didn't like it? Walk away. Go find another badge to buy. So that was my complaint there.
You can do standard accounting practices with Bitcoin, because in accounting, it would work roughly the same as cash, unless you're doing like weird SEC holding style stuff. But
we could have done it. Like, look, we could have done it, but you know what? Imagine we had to do a chip card and we had to wait 10 or 15 seconds per badge, and we had 500 of them, and we're selling them and doing technical support and everything else. It would have taken forever. Defcon is cash only. The understanding is that these things are also cash only, and if someone takes a credit card, be happy.
Yeah, no, and I agree somewhat, because if anyone's tried to use Bitcoin recently, waiting on those confirmations, that might not ever happen. So you could have taken transactions that would have never confirmed, and now you're out the money for a badge.
And it's our money. It's not like we got money to do it. It's our money that we all fronted. So again, yes, you're absolutely right. The Crypto and Privacy Village should accept Bitcoin, but we didn't. We accepted cash, which is as anonymous as it's going to come. Because we took your money, they're not in order. We don't know what it is. We counted it a bunch of times, but that's about it. So anyway, so moving on. Let's see. 2 last things. No more VPNs at the iOS store in China. So China decided that they're going to ask Apple, and Apple complied, to ban all the VPN apps. This is just Apple or China getting more strict on all these types of things.
We're going to see. This has happened before in certain countries, and what will happen is someone will make an app that looks like something else, but you do something entirely weird with the app, and it turns into a VPN application. That's happened before. There was an iOS app that was like a xylophone or something. It was a virtual keyboard. You can press stuff and make sounds, and if you press the keys in a correct order, it enabled tethering on your iPhone without paying for
I got that app. I have that app.
Right? It's a cool idea, but we're going to start seeing a little bit more of that. It sucks. Some people are saying Apple should have fought China, and I'm on the side that they should have, right? They fought the FBI on something really dangerous. They should fight China and, you know, do their part to help protect human rights, but it came down to a business decision. I think they made the wrong one morally, but, you know, for the stockholders, they probably made the right one.
So look, Apple said that you can always sideload. So they're not saying, they just can't be in the business of selling it. So I agree with that. That's their business model. You want to sideload, you can sideload apps. Download the IPA file, put it on your thing, send it over, and they will let you. No root needed. So we'll go with that.
Yeah, it sucks. And for, you know, for a non-technical user to try to get, you know, free and open internet, a VPN is pretty one-click install easy. If you've got a sideload stuff, that's going to stop the majority of people, right? The Great Firewall doesn't exist to stop everyone from getting out. It exists to stop the majority from getting out, which it does with rudimentary effectiveness.
So, again, anyway, I don't know if we should check if OpenVPN is on it, because OpenVPN is just the app. It doesn't actually provide the VPN capability, but
I'm pretty sure we need to look into this, but I'm pretty sure if it's got the word VPN in it in the title or description, it'll get banned.
So, Chinese listeners, you have one job. Okay, and then our last story with the last few minutes is Verizon's pushing out their new Smart Rewards program, where in exchange for your traffic data, they will give you gold coins, like virtual gold coins that you can spend. Now, I'm a Verizon Fios customer. They've always doing this. If you auto pay your bill, you get 50 points, and this gets you points, and this gets you points. And I'm sure they're doing something with payment data, but this is the first time they're talking about traffic data. And I tried to redeem 2 gift cards from it. Here's the catch. The catch. The points would expire after a year. So you would earn a maximum number of points, and it was just enough to get you a $5 gift card to somewhere. And then you can never earn more unless you actually spend some money, as in rent a movie from their pay-per-view or do other stuff. They're deprecating that program. So all your points there are now going to be gone, and they're going to pay you to analyze your traffic data. And this is, I think, is directly from the FTC saying that they're not going to stop the traffic data or the anonymization of the traffic data. So basically what they're saying is, we're not analyzing your traffic. Oh, but if you want $5 off a month, let us do it. And everyone's going to opt into that and get their $5 off a month and go from there.
So I feel 2 ways about this. One, it's really shady to say, hey, look, it's a rewards program. You just have to agree to turn over your entire life. But it's, on the other hand, right, you're getting something. Even though it's mostly useless, it's a little bit not useless, right? Because when you go to a website and you don't have tracking or ad blockers or anything like that, you're getting analyzed 6 ways to Sunday, right? People are watching you skirt across the internet. If you've got double-click ads on, they can see which sites you go to that have those ads enabled, and where your click-throughs are going, how much time you spend on the page, all this other data, and you don't get anything for it, right? I mean, the common vernacular is the trade-off is you get the content the site provides while giving your data. But you're not directly benefiting, right? They're not directly paying you for giving up this data. So in some ways, it's a little better than someone just taking your data and running away with it, because you're getting, useless monopoly money. But on the other hand, it's kind of shady to roll this into a rewards program.
Look, that's the problem. They're going to say, and remember, the recurrent rewards program, the points expire after a year. So what they're trying to get you to do is not remember it and have this cap that gets you very little, a gift card here and there. And I'm still fighting for it, and I've given up because it hasn't come. And I've done 3 things. I called them 3 times, and 3 times they sent me, this is under perjury laws, that you're not misrepresenting it. It still hasn't come. I'm tired of dealing with it. And look, if it's going to get you device dollars towards what?
It's $5, and they want you to sign like an anti-perjury statement.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't hard.
It's $5.
I had to fax it. Think about that.
Oh my God. Okay, I will give you $5 if you need $5. I've got some bitcoins. I mean, it's okay, man. I can give you $5.
I figured that I pay my bill every month. Okay, I pay my bill every month. At the end of a year, I had enough to get 2 $5 gift cards. Like, you know what? It's a free coffee.
Yeah,
Auto paying my bill. I should get a free coffee for that.
Why not?
And I didn't get it. And after the third call, I said, you know what? I'm done. You know what? I'm done. Like, I deserve this. I'm right. I can probably get it and I can do all this, but I'm done. I'm just tired of it. So, look, device dollars towards your next device, but you have to give them all your data. Look, they're giving you something. I'll give you that. They're giving you something. And if you really don't care, you know what? Rent it, own some property, give your Airbnb should absolutely do this. If you have an Airbnb and you provide Wi-Fi, get some money off to pay for the service and go from there.
You know what? If I ever get elected to public office, I am totally going to put forward the accurate naming law and put it into effect countrywide. So this would be, money for spying on you program. It's not the Verizon like gold rewards or anything. It's the Verizon money for spying on you program, which would be great, right? We could accurately name all the bills in Congress. We could accurately name products like chair that doesn't actually work, or phone that stops working after 3 months, LG, or something like that, right? It would be wonderful. So vote for me.
We got to end.
Totally running.
So with that said, again, we're over. And for the people for the first time, I promise you, we usually don't go over. Just had a lot of news. Anyway, our WhatsApp group, tweet at us. Again, we can't make it public. We'll put you in. It's a lot more fun there. It's not necessarily safe for work, but we're pretty good. We're not that naughty in there. Anyway, we'll see everyone.
It's okay for work.
Yeah, it's okay for work. We'll see you next week. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.